All right, Shalom. This is Howard 1 by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, and Agwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth, and that are still keeping the faith in these last days. All right, so this is 2nd Edras, chapter 2, and I may go through the whole chapter. All right, see where the Spirit takes me as far as the rest of the chapter. So let's set the basis for this story. This is Edras, the prophet Ezra. Now, Edras was known as what you would call a Levite. All right, and he was set up as an elder statesman during the time of our return back to Jerusalem from Babylonian captivity under the Persian and orders of Cyrus the Great, all the way down to Artaxerxes. All right, so you have the prophet Edras, who's a Levite, and this specific chapter, 2nd Ezra chapter 2, was written around 459 BC, and he was telling stories of how what he was experiencing and what he experienced years before in Babylonian captivity. All right. So he saw the conditions of our people, just like we see today. And what did the Lord say even back then? Ezekiel 9:4. Oh, Yahweh, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of. All right, and that specific angel that does the marking for Yahweh is Yahushai, putting a mark of what? The Tawah, which means exemption, upon the Lord's elect in any age, any generation. So Ezra was the elect of that time. All right, setting him up to become the elect for the day of salvation in these last days. All right, so the man with the rightest inkhorn is the one who holds the authority of the authorship, the author of our salvation. That's Yahushua. All right, so even during the time of Ezra, Yahushua was sent. Our Lord and Savior Yahushua was sent to place the Tawah upon Ezra for future generations. What that goes into? Predestination. All right, so let's get back to the book of 2nd Ezra. And let's get into the story, because he was writing about the conditions of our people, and he was asking the Lord, why was our people in that condition? All right, so he loved his people just like we love our people, but they're wicked right now. Now the Lord loved our people even in their sin. Even in our sin, the Lord loved us and called us out of darkness. So no greater love have no man than what Yahushua did for us, giving his life when we were in our sins. Matter of fact, let me get that. This is 2nd Ezra 8:46. 44. Even so perisheth man, which is formed with thy hands, and is called thine own image, because thou art like unto him, for whose sake thou hast made all things, and liken him unto the husbandman's seed. Be not wroth with us, but spare thy people, this is Ezra talking to the Lord, and have mercy upon thine own inheritance, for thou art merciful unto thy creature. Then answered he me. All right, and what I believe, this was Yahushua speaking, starting from 2nd Ezra chapter 6. Then answered he me and said, things present are for the present, and things to come for such as become, man. All right, so the salvation is set up for the elect in the future, which we're living in the future today. The 7 churches of Asia Minor, that time period in the Roman Empire was set up for them. And the rebuilding of the Second Temple and the temple walls during the time of was it Daniel, Zerubbabel, the prophet Joshua, Nehemiah, Edras, Zechariah. So during these times, that generation was set up for them. All right, so the Lord said, what? Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof, for whatever purpose the Lord has in place. So now, verse 47. So this is the Lord speaking to Edras. For thou comest far short, that thou shouldest be able to love my creature more than I. So, yeah, we don't like seeing our people in that condition. And it builds a certain resentment and hatred towards our people and our people towards us. But Yahushua, when he came here, he taught us how to do it. He said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And the Lord said he wasn't sent to put out the smoking flax or to break off the reed even more. Instead, he was sent to keep their fire lit that was already in the laws, and the ones that were broken, to heal them with the word and to anoint them, setting a mark upon them for that age. So the Lord is doing it again in these days, setting that mark of the Wah upon his elect all the way from the beginning. Predestination. All right, so the Lord loves us more than anybody. For thou comest far short, that thou shouldest be able to love my creature more than I. But I have oftentimes drawn nigh unto thee and unto it, but never to the unrighteous. Ooh. So the Lord is not near unto the wicked of our nation, but he's near unto the ones that believe in him correctly and that keep his laws to the best of their ability. This is Second Edras chapter 2, verse 1 again. Thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage and gave them my commandments. All right, I didn't read it yet, so let me get into it. All right, so now we know the setting of the story. Right around 459 BC, Edras was writing, was speaking this word from the Lord. And these situations happened to where Yahushua came to visit him with the holy angels. So and he saw the conditions of our people in Babylon and amongst the Persians. So the Lord prophesied to him and told him of our destiny. All right, and our inheritance. So 2 Edras 2:1. Thus saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, I brought this people out of bondage. So who brought us out of bondage? Yahweh did. But who did he send to deliver us? The same one he's going to send to deliver us now is the deliverer, Yahushai. All right, so I already brought this out the other day, but I'm going to it again. Wisdom of Solomon 18:15. Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven. That's the word meaning Yahushua. He's the word of God. Out of thy royal throne out in the heavens, as a fierce man of war. The scriptures say Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Yahushua is a man of war. It's into the midst of a land of destruction. That is into Egypt to deliver us. And brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death, and it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth. Then suddenly, that goes to the point. All right, so the Lord led us out of Egypt. All right. Psalm 68 and 17. The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. All right, so when the Lord came down upon Sinai and gave those commandments to Moses, Yahweh was there with the holy angels. All right, the same way he was sitting there dealing with Edras. And he said he's the one that led us out of Egypt. All right. This is Exodus chapter 13, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn. Whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day. See, we're supposed to remember that day. All right. Around the springtime in 1446 BC, in which ye came out of Egypt. All right. The word Egypt goes into the word ghetto, or encirclement, or entrapment, where you focus on a concentrated people, like a concentration camp. All right. Out of the house of bondage, right? Egypt doesn't mean bondage, but it was our place where we were put in bondage. Since we went into Egypt, I think around 1880 or 1881 BC, during the time of Joseph. Then 435 years later, we came into the land of Canaan. We left out of Egypt and came into Canaan. All right. From 1446 all the way to 1406, which would be 40 years later, with from Moses to Joshua and Caleb. So the Lord said, what? Remember that day, man. And we remember it by keeping the Passover as well. In which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage, for by strength of hand. See, that was the house of bondage. That's what we were put in bondage. All right. For by strength of hand, Yahweh brought you out of this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. All right. That goes into the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which starts on the Passover night. All right. We just celebrated that. Honored that holy day. This day came ye out in the month Abiyabah, or Abib, which means what? To spring. So in the springtime. So that's the new year for us. All right. So right. So this is the time when the Lord brought us out of Egypt, out of bondage. All right. So 2nd Edras 2 and 1. Thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage and gave them my commandments. He gave it to us twice. All right. On Mount Sinai, and also right before we went into the land of Canaan. I think that's what Deuteronomy chapter 2. All right. Deuteronomy 1 and 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran, Tophel, Laban, Hazeroth, and Dizahab. These are 11 days' journey from Horeb by the way of Mount Seir unto Kadesh Barnea. It's after we came out of the wilderness, and it came to pass in the 40th year. See, 40 years we were in the wilderness. In the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Moses spake unto the children of Israel, according unto all that Yahweh had given him in commandment unto them. All right, so he went over it again, the commandments twice. All right, during the time of Deuteronomy. I think Deuteronomy goes into words twice or second. Right. So the name Deuteronomy comes from the Septuagint's Greek title for the book to Deuteronomium, meaning the second law or repeated law, a name tied to one of the Hebrew appellations of the book in the Torah. So this is the second time where he repeated the law to us. All right, so verse 1 again, 2 Edras 2 and 1. Thus saith Yahweh, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments by men's servants, the prophets, and that's talking about Moses and Aaron, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsels, man. Even to this day, in the book of Baruch, it says that they despised the voice of the Lord, which the voice of the Lord are his men, his prophets. So even today, when we're out there prophesying on the streets, they despise it. They despise the Lord's spirit, which is flowing through us. The mother that bare them saith unto them, Go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken. So who's our mother? Let's get that. This is Galatians 4 and 26. But Jerusalem, all right, Yerushalayim, that represents a people and the place, all right. But Jerusalem, the city of peace, Yerushalayim, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So what's that? Our motherland would be Israel, not Africa. All right. So our mother, which is that land over there, was destroyed with us. All right. So that land became desolate of children, of people, of life. And now you have a vagabond over there and heathens living in that land. And our temple was deserted. It became a place of excavation where they go over there digging and shit, in the real Jerusalem, Now it says, the mother that bare them saith unto them, Go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken. So go your way, meaning what? We got scattered out of that land. This is Ezekiel 11 and 16. Therefore say, Thus saith Yahweh, power, although I have scattered them, I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. Therefore, that's why you have certain camps in different places. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where ye have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel. All right, because that was part of the curses, us being scattered. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, and that voice represents Moses, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right, so it says, what? Curse shalt thou be in the city, and curse shalt thou be in the field. Now let's get to the point. Here it is right here. Verse 24. And Yahweh shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. Man, that would mean that we had drought in our land. Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies, and thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all kingdoms of the earth. All right, and that's why that land is saying to us, go your ways. I don't have any children. It's become a widow. All right, the land of Jerusalem. All right, for example, Jeremiah 44 and 2, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, of armies, the God of Israel, ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Judah, and behold, this day they are a desolation, and no man dwelleth therein, man. So our land is desolate. All right, so 2 Ezra 2:2, the mother that bare them, Jerusalem, saith unto them, go your way, ye children. See, for I am a widow and forsaken. All right, so even that land was forsaken by the Lord, and the children of Israel were forsaken for being wicked. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you. Man. All right, so when we went into that land was fruitful. But as we were exiting, being taken out of that land, it was droughts and destruction upon that land. You know. All right, so this should break it down right here. When the Lord judges a people, He also judges that land first around them, bringing up chastisement and persecution and judgment. You know, so just like today, the Lord is breaking down America first, and then He's going to get the people. So He brings suffering on them. No food, no drought, you know, everything He gave to those people. He'll take that away first, and then leave them there bare, and then destroy them. Ezekiel 14:10, and they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. That's the children of Israel. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him. All right, so so even the prophets, according to Revelation chapter 11, we were all spiritually dead. So, you know, it was a judgment upon the whole nation. But now the Lord's going to make a separation and bring that judgment of destruction upon 2/3, and He's going to deliver and show mercy to the elect. That the house of Israel may go no more astray from me, neither be polluted any more with all their transgressions, but that they may be my people, and I may be their power, saith Yahweh the power. The word of Yahweh came again to me, saying, Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, see the land, he talked to people on that land. We was in the land of Jerusalem, so our land is suffering too. All right, scriptures say the whole creation mourneth together, is waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. All right. Then will I, so son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out mine hand upon it. All right, so He divided the names of the lands according to the people. So Jerusalem represents us. And will break the staff of bread thereof, man, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. All right, so we had famine, no bread, no water, no food. So, all right. And especially, I think it was in the land of Zebulun too. The Lord had them nations killing off all of our animals so they couldn't eat. They had beautiful animals out there. You can read about that in the book of Nahum. And if I cause noisome beasts to pass through the land, and they spoil it, so that it be desolate, that no man pass through because of the beast, man. So the Lord can send lions, all kind of stuff there. Though these 3 men were in it, as I live, saith Yahweh the power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters. They only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate. All right. So like I skipped the verse from verse 14. Though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, saith Yahweh the power. So even today, that represents the elect. And Noah, Job, and Daniel are most likely upon the earth today to be delivered. All right. So even though Noah and Daniel and Job were in that land, he was using that as a sarcasm. If we had them there and they were like top prophets and righteous, the Lord still would only deliver them and destroy the rest. And that was in Canaan. Well, in the land of Jerusalem at that time, Israel. All right, so the Lord is no respecter of persons. And verse 16, though these three men were in it, as I live, see, the Lord is alive. All right, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, they're more alive than us. Saith the Lord power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters. They only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate. This is how mad and upset the Lord was. So in these times, the Lord said, you and your household will be delivered. Just like Noah. But even though the Lord delivered Noah and his household before, during that time, the Lord wasn't hearing it. All right. Or if I bring a sword upon the land, see, that's how you know the Lord is judging those people. He start bringing a sword upon that land. All right. So Jerusalem, the mother of us all, is suffering as well. That's why the scriptures say the trees are going to rejoice, meaning they're going to grow and flourish and be fruitful. But right now, the whole earth is mourning without us being in power under Yahushua. Or if I bring a sword upon that land and say, sword, go through the land so that I cut off man and beast from it. See, that's why I said, go thy ways, thy children, for I am a widow. Though these three men were in it, as I live, saith Yahweh the power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they shall only deliver themselves. Or if I send a pestilence into the land and pour out my fury upon it in blood to cut off from it man and beast, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, using them for examples, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, they shall, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter, but they shall deliver their own souls by their righteousness. Talking about the elect. All right, so for thus saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, how much more when I send my 4 sword judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword, the famine, and the noisome beast, and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast. See, we were cut off from that land. All right. So, yet behold, therein shall be left a remnant that shall be brought forth, just like today. Both sons and daughters, behold, they shall come forth unto you, and ye shall see their way and their doings, and ye shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, even concerning all that I have brought upon it. And they shall comfort you when ye shall see their ways and doings. All right, so let me get back to it. All right, so our land is suffering and waiting to grow, just like the whole earth with Esau in the way, putting concrete everywhere. The grass can't even grow how it wants in the trees. All right. Before man was upon the earth was fruitful and populated with plants and trees and fruit and vegetation. But now they've cut down all the trees. Now they're depopulating the earth. You know? Verse 3, I brought you up with gladness. See, the Lord brought us up with gladness, and that land did too. But with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you. See? For ye have sinned before Yahweh your power. This is parabolic of the land of Jerusalem speaking to us. And done that thing that is evil before him. But what shall I now do unto you? I am a widow and forsaken. So he's like, what could the land give for us? So that's why the Lord said, we ain't worrying about going back into that land like Ben Amin and them did. What can that land do for us, man? You go over there, you got to join into the Israeli army. You know? So what could that land do for us? Nothing. We get our fruit from the Spirit now. We get our water through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? And we get our meat from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, his word. The Lord said he has slain his bullocks and everything for us and made the table ready. So we're a spiritual kingdom now until the manifestation of Yahushua's physical kingdom upon this earth. Verse 4, but what shall I now do unto you? I am a widow and forsaken. Go your way, O my children, and ask mercy of the Lord. It's like them gangbangers or mob drug dealers when they go to jail and their wife and their family suffer from it. And then they homie wound up popping and having sex with their wife. And she move on, you know, she's like, go, what can I do for you? I can't sit here for life waiting for you. You know? So our land has been given to other people, heathens, that's abusing and putting Pink City and all that, you know, madness over there. Devil worship, it. Sacrificing black goats and pigs and shit. Pedophilia. Idolatry over there. So that land is suffering, man. You know, the whole earth is suffering. All right, so where was I at? Oh, verse 5. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant, that thou bring them to confusion and their mother to a spoil. So we went into confusion. Let's get that. This is this is Edras, once again, in the Old Testament, same person, chapter 9, verse 7. Since the days of our father have we been in a great trespass unto this day. All right, since the days of our fathers, man, since the time that when we came out of Egypt, all the way up until what was known as the latter days at that time, around the 4th century, I'll say, BC, during the time of Edras. And for our iniquities have we, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hand of the kings of the land, to the sword, to captivity, and to a spoil. See, even the land is spoiled, and to confusion of face, as it is this day. All right, so we came into confusion of face, man. Meaning we became confused. You look at our face, we confused ass people. Don't know who the hell we are, lost. You know, like pictures and videos in slavery. People look lost and spooked, man. All right, even today you see our people, they don't know who the hell they are. So our land was spoiled and we've been put into what? Confusion of face. And that's not going into saying we were mixed in different colors. What that means is I mean, you can use that, but that's not really it. That would be more so the speckled bird, meaning colorful, colorful nation, different colors, because we were scattered. All right. But to say confusion of face, meaning we look confused, we just confused as people, lost. All right. So verse 6, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, that thou bring them to confusion and their mother, our land, Jerusalem, to a spoil. So you got spoiled by these nations. That there be no offspring of them. Let them be scattered among the heathen. See, we got scattered according to Deuteronomy 28. Let's get that. Deuteronomy 28:63. And it shall come to pass that as Yahweh rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you. And either way, the Lord rejoicing. And to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. So the same land we went to go get the land, and the Lord did all that to bring us up out of Egypt and bring us into that land. He like, it's nothing. I could also take you out of that land and scatter us. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people. See? That's why we're everywhere, every nation, scattered. From the one end of the earth, even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, meaning your mind, and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. Was that confusion of face? All right. 2nd Ezra 2:7. And let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Deuteronomy 28. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenants. All right. So because we went off, the Lord handed us over to these nations, and so our name was put out of the earth. Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. All right, so the Lord kept his word. He made it come to pass. We were cut off as a nation, and our name was put out of the earth. Verse 8. Woe be unto thee, Asher, thou that hidest the righteous in thee. All right, Assyria. All right, or would you say Babylon? Because they were Assyrians. O thou wicked people, remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah. So even today, Asher or Babylon represents America today. All right. You could say Nineveh, but it's really talking about Babylon. Because it didn't say Assyria, it said Asher. So it's talking about those people. And that's where our people were coming from. He's like, yo, y'all, you don't want to stay there and be wicked. You better come back to Jerusalem and do right. During the time of Edras. So the Lord said, remember what he did unto Sodom and Gomorrah, whose land lieth in clods of pitch and heaps of ashes. Even so also will I do unto them that hear me not, saith the Almighty Lord, man. All right, so the Lord left Sodom and Gomorrah as an example what he's going to do to any nation and any land where the people trespass against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So the same thing is going to happen to this place, America, or modern Babylon, the modern place of confusion. Verse 10. Thus saith Yahweh unto Edras, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. All right, so now let's get that. All right, just because they're Israelite doesn't make them a child of God or Israelite, indeed. So the Lord was saying back then he was going to give it to them, but now he's creating a new people, which are Israelites in the future, that he's going to give this to. All right, new bodies. Romans 9 and 5. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahushua came, who is over all, Yahweh blessed be forever. Amen. Not as though the word of Yahweh have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So it's about the calling. So, from Abraham through Isaac and then through Jacob, but not all Israel represents the promise, represents the children of Yahweh. All right, so 2 Edras 2 and 10. Thus saith Yahweh unto Edras, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. All right, so he's going to give us the kingdom that he would have gave to us in the ancient times. Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles, which I have prepared for them. So today it's about predestination, that the Lord has prepared. The Lord said the kingdom is already prepared. So those same areas that were set up for the Israelites in the ancient times, he said, no, in those bodies, I'm not going to give it to you. I'll give it to you in the kingdom. And that goes into the 12 gates. That's only set up for the 12 tribes of Israel. And that's a cut on all these Edomites that think it's the 13th tribe or 14th tribe. No, it's only 12 tribes that's going to enter into the kingdom of heaven. And of that, it's only going to be the elect. All right? Which represent the sons of God, which represent that spirit. All right, the Lord is a spirit, and those that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So the Lord has put the spirit of his son into our hearts, calling out Abba Father. And Paul said it, now are we the sons of God, man. Why? Through the spirit. So just because they're in this flesh and we descend from Israel doesn't make us sons of God. Our people have become heathens. And this chapter is going to prove it. Their glory also, verse 11. So the Lord going to give us the kingdom, man. Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles, which I prepared for them. They shall have the tree of life for an ointment of sweet savor. So that tree of life, here you go. This is Proverbs 3 and 13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of her is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold, right? Because the scripture says, silver shall not deliver thee from wrath, from the judgment. All right, and silver and gold cannot make you godly or rich in the spirit. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her, man. So it's, we say precious or rare, hard to find. Length of days are in her right hand, help to give us long life. And in her left hand, riches and honor. So even in the carnal realm, in the future, it can lead you to physical riches as well. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. This is the point. She, talking about wisdom, is a tree of life. All right. Just like a tree starts off at the root and then it grows unto life. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her. And happy is every one that retaineth her. All right. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion, even more than wind, any water in the sea. That's why it's called the river that flows from Yahweh in Revelation 22 to Yahweh Shai and to the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. And from those 12 tribes, you're going to get the prophets who are set up for the healing of the nation of Israel. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of Yahweh. See, the breath. See, that's why scriptures say they had sinews and all that, and they grew muscle and flesh, but they had no breath. Ezekiel 37. So they had no wisdom. 2/3 of our people. And a pure influence flowing like water from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. All right, so wisdom is that breath that's flowing as a pure influence to influence who? The elect. From the glory of the Almighty. So it comes from Yahweh. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light. All right, of the truth. The unspotted mirror of the power of Yahweh. Wow. And the image of his goodness. All right, so verse 11, 2 Edras 2 and 12. They shall have the tree of life for an anointment. So not the ancient Israelites, but the ones that come in the future. The Lord was going to be unto them as a little sanctuary in the places we were scattered. And he was going to give us that anointing that was given to us by Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai came down here from the heavens and literally placed a mark again, the Tawah, upon the foreheads of the men that sighed and cried, which goes into the 7 churches of Asia Minor, which goes into the 12 disciples that started the church. And going with Paul, you know. So Yahweh Shai himself had done it. He's the one that anointed each of those disciples and anointed Paul himself to go teach to the Gentile Israelites. So he's that angel that sets the Tawah upon our head. All right. So that's right. Let's get that real quick. This is Daniel chapter 9, verse 24. I'm not going to go into the whole chapter. 70 weeks are determined upon the people, and that goes into 490 years. All right, so 70 weeks are determined upon thy people. You know, so from the time of our captivity with Babylon all the way up until Yahweh Shai was going to be 490 years. Well, close to that time, during the time of Hyrcanus, which was going to lead us into the liberated state of Israel and Rome ruling equally, and was going to set it up for Julius Caesar and the 12 Caesars, you know, according to what's that, Daniel 11. And then you have Herod, according to Daniel 12. Revelation 12. And then through Herod and his dynasty's family, you're going to get them persecuting the children of Israel during the time of Yahweh Shai. All right. And through Yahweh Shai, he anointed what? Here you go. It says 70 weeks, 490 years are determined upon thy people and upon the holy city to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins. See, when Yahweh Shai came and gave his life for us, he made an end of our sins, and to make reconciliation for the iniquity of our forefathers. So the Lord wiped our slate clean in preparation for deliverance today. And to bring in everlasting righteousness, all right, and this is the point, and to seal up division and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. So all the way up until the time of Yahushua, through Yahushua, he was going to anoint the most holy of our people, the elect. All right. So that's what it means, where just like in Psalms 23, the Lord anointeth our head with oil, and our cup runneth over. 2nd Edras 2:12, they shall have the tree of life, meaning wisdom, for an ointment of sweet savor. So that's how you're going to know who the elect are. That's that ointment, that's that token, the promise. They shall neither labor nor be weary. All right, so we're going to build up the kingdom spiritually and not physically. Go and ye shall receive, pray for a few days unto you. So this was set up for Edras to receive as well, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. So even back then, the Lord was preparing the kingdom for us. All right. Take heaven and earth to witness, for I have broken the evil in pieces and created the good. So he did that through Yahushua, has broken the evil in pieces, meaning what our forefathers have done, the Lord has broken that in pieces and created the good through Yahushua. For I live, saith the Lord. And it's talking about Yahushua. Yahweh is alive, and even Yahushua lives, just like he said in this book right here. This is Revelations 1:17. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead, and he laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, fear not, I am the first and the last, meaning he was here from the beginning, Yahushua. John chapter 1 says the word was with the powers, and he was a power himself. Colossians tell you he created everything from the beginning. Let's get this real quick. Let me finish this so I don't lose the point. Verse 18, I am he that liveth. See, Yahushua is alive, and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore, among, and have the keys of hell and death. So you got the keys to free us from this bondage. He's the one that can put us in the bondage, lock us in there, and also can deliver us from it. He's the one that was alive and with Yahweh from the beginning. And he came down in the flesh, and he did it again, raised that body up. Yahweh raised that body, the physical flesh body up on the spirit of Yahushua, and made that live as well. Because it was not, let me get that. All right, this is Acts 2:23. Him being delivered by the determinate counsel and foreknowledge of Yahweh, ye have taken by wicked hands and have crucified and slain. That's what they did to Yahushua, our king, whom Yahweh have raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be holden of it. See that? So Yahushua is alive even from the beginning, and he cannot be bound by death. So even in that body was raised up with him. All right, so he's alive during the time of Edras, and even though he came down here in the physical flesh during the time of Joseph and Mary, born of the seed of man in the womb of a woman, through the womb of a woman into the matrix, and took that flesh body up into the heavens, according to Revelations 5. All right, so the Lord has what? 2nd Edras 2:14. Take heaven and earth to witness, for I have broken the evil in pieces and created the good. So the Lord is begin what he said. We are new creatures. So the Lord is creating us now, creating us into being good. For I live, saith the Lord. So the Lord is alive. All right. Verse 15. Mother, embrace thy children and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar, For I have chosen thee, saith Yahweh. All right, so today, that land is our mother, but we're not in that land. So Proverbs 7:1, my son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. Bind them upon the fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, right? So we don't have that land today. But during the time of Edras, we were going back into that land. So the Lord was saying, yeah, start from here, you know. But now we have to be nurtured and cared for outside of that land, all the places we're scattered. So now we have become mothers to each other. We have become fathers to each other upon this earth, and sisters and brothers. Matthew 12:47. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and the sister, as I just read, and mother. All right, so that's the mindset we have to have towards each other, by being each other's brother, sister, and mother. All right. So, I mean, spiritually speaking, you know, in the sense that a mother nurtures and cares and helps to give the milk and, caring for one another, you know, building each other up, helping each other to become strong. You know, just same way your mother would cut the meat for you and feed it to you in increments to help you grow so you wouldn't choke on it. All right, this is why the Lord said we are to be as little children or newborn babes, desiring what? The sincere milk of the word. All right, and that milk comes from the mother's breast, which stems all the way back to Jerusalem, man. The history of our people. Verse 2 Edras 2:15, I ended here. Mother, embrace thy children. So now we embracing each other, and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar. All right, fast meaning quicken. All right, fasten it like a pillar. Set them in place. Found the foundation, that they move not, man. For I have chosen thee, saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and those that be dead will I raise up again from their places. And this goes into Ezekiel 37. And bring them out of the graves, for I have known my name in Israel. See? All right, so yeah, the Lord physically brought us out of the grave during the time of Yahushua, but this is spiritual. Ezekiel 37, you know, it's about where we were scattered at. The Lord's going to raise us up from being dead spiritually and do this. So 37:10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breathed, and the breath came into them. See, the breath of wisdom. And they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. See, as we commanded, we nurture our people, and the breath comes into them, man. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the house of Israel. See, not the world, but the house of Israel. They say our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts, for our parts. See, that's our mindset of our people. Like, yo, we don't know who the hell we are. We cut off. We out in the world, scattered, cut off of that land. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith Yahweh the power, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live. And I shall place you in your land, in your own land, and then shall ye know that I, Yahweh, have spoken it and performed it, saith Yahweh. Woo, man, that's everything I just read in Edras. All right, so I'm gonna have to cut it here, man, because I'm up to an hour, and I don't want to run out of space on my phone again. So I just read to verse 17 and end it. 2nd Edras 2 and 16. And those that be dead, see Revelations 11, we were spiritually dead, will I raise up again, and the Lord rose up upon our feet, according to Revelations 11 as well. And Ezekiel 37, we stood up a great exceeding army from their places, and will bring them out of their graves, for I have known my name in Israel. Fear not, thou mother of the children, for I have chosen thee, saith Yahweh. All right, so the Lord is telling his elect, don't fear into that land, which has become a witness in the suffering and the destruction of the children that lived upon it, our forefathers. That land is going to be healed again too. Psalms 96 and 10. Say among the heathen that Yahweh reigneth. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. So once the Lord set that righteousness in place, it's not going to be moved out of place. He shall judge the people righteously. Let the heavens rejoice, and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar. See, this is going to happen in the kingdom. The earth is going to be glad when Esau, the wicked witch, the wicked is out of the way. Let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar, man. Thrive with animals and with marine life. They poisoning the waters right now, man. All right. And it's going to rejoice with people out in the waters. We're going to be able to go everywhere. And the fullness thereof, see? Let the field be joyful. We're going to have perfect, pure, clear water, open fields that's grown with crops. And all that is therein, then shall all the trees of the woods rejoice, man. And this is mainly starting with our land first, the land of Jerusalem, Israel. Before Yahweh, for he cometh to judge the earth. He shall judge the world with righteousness and the people with his truth, man. All right, so I'm gonna wrap that up, man. And there's a breakdown on 2nd Ezra chapter 2, where the Lord said, behold, I have broken the evil in pieces and created the good. All right, so the Lord has broke what our people have done, being wicked, and the Lord is, and he's also going to break Esau and these heathens, and he's creating us as we speak. You know, the Creator never stopped creating. You know, so he created the good through Yahushua and the sacrifice that he did, and that's why we become, and we will be good in salvation. All right, perfectly righteous. He created the elect. That's something new on the earth. The Lord created his elect, the 7 churches of Asia Minor, the 12 disciples. You know, like a voice that starts small, then it echoes out into eternity. Starting from one to some to many to an innumerable number. All right, so I'm ended there, man. Hopefully this was edifying. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 2. A little understanding of our people and the condition that they're in.